Hi, and welcome to my channel. Welcome to another episode of I Ruin Art for You in 10 minutes or less. Just kidding, or maybe not. Some paintings are beautiful, others, they're just a breakdown on canvas. Today, I'm showing you 5 paintings made by artists who were literally losing their minds while painting them. I'm talking next level stuff like visions, strange obsessions, and the unsettling belief that their paintings were alive. And somehow, they created masterpieces. And no, this isn't some dark art theory. This actually happened. So, let's begin. Let's start with Vincent van Gogh. Some paintings are a cry for help. This one was almost a suicide note. Most people know him as the guy who painted Starry Night, or the one who cut off his ear. But few know how deep his suffering really went. Towards the end of his life, Van Gogh was struggling. He moved in and out of asylums, fought hallucinations, and felt completely alone. But he painted constantly, like it was the only thing keeping him alive. And then he painted this. Wheat field with crows. A huge field, a stormy night, a path that literally leads nowhere, and crows just flying around like something bad is going to happen. He didn't say it was his last work, but right after this, he walked into a field and shot himself. No goodbye note, just this. Honestly, this painting is the note. Okay, if the last one was weird, this one is just plain nightmare fuel. Saturn Devouring His Son by Francisco Goya. It's a giant, wide-eyed god eating his own child. Blood dripping from the body, mouth open like an animal. Why? According to the myth, Saturn was told that one of his kids would overthrow him. So naturally, his solution was to eat all of them. Classic parenting. But here's the real twist. Goya painted this in his home. Not for the public, not for the fame. Just on the walls of his dining room. He was old, deaf, paranoid, isolated. He wasn't trying to impress anyone. He was just trying to survive his own mind. This was part of his black painting series, 14 disturbing murals filled with fear, death and madness. No names, no explanations. Goya didn't sign this. He didn't even title it. It's like he wanted the madness to speak for itself. If you're still here, you clearly have taste. So go ahead, like the video and subscribe. Not because I said so, but because the algorithm is a cold, heartless machine and your click gives it feelings. Thank you. I bet you have seen the next one already.
Baby.
This one is by Edward Munch. But here's what people don't know. The Scream isn't just a painting. It's a panic attack on canvas. One day, Munch was walking with 2 friends. Suddenly, he felt off. He wrote, "The sky turned blood red. I felt a scream pass through nature. I stood there trembling with anxiety." So, what did he do? He painted exactly how that moment felt. The warped lines, the twisted face. It's not meant to look real. It's meant to feel how anxiety feels. And this wasn't a one-time thing. Munch struggled with depression and paranoia all his life. He once said, "Illness, insanity, and death were the black angels that kept watch over my cradle." His paintings got darker, lonelier. He didn't want to paint beauty. He wanted to paint what hurts. The Scream isn't just iconic because it looks dramatic. It's iconic because we've all kind of been there, just hopefully not as loud. This next one is weird. Richard Dad was a rising star in London's art world. He painted fairies, myths, dreamy forests. Then he traveled through Europe and Egypt. came back convinced that he was possessed by the god Osiris. Seriously, one day he stabbed his own father with a knife, then fled to France like nothing happened. He was caught, declared insane, and locked in an asylum. There, he painted the fairy fellow's masterstroke. At first, it looks like a chaotic fairy scene, but look closely. No one is moving. They are all frozen like something's about to go horribly wrong. Dad spent 9 years on this, layering details like he couldn't stop. Like the painting was painting him. Some call it magical, others say it's cursed. Let's talk about Arshil Gorky, a man who painted like his soul was on fire, because it probably was. He has been through a lot. He became a pioneer of abstract expressionism. Behind every swirl of color, there was grief. And then came The Liver is in the Coxcomb. Yeah, weird title.
What the hell?
But the painting, it's chaos. Color explosions, sharp strokes. Looks like a celebration. Until you stare longer. Then it feels like a nervous breakdown. Around the time he painted this, everything fell apart. His studio burned down, he got cancer, his wife left him. His neck was injured in a car crash. He could barely paint. And then he stopped trying. He hung himself in his barn. If pain could speak, it would probably look like this. Okay, so I survived my first voiceover. Barely. If you made it to the end of this video, tell me what hit you the hardest. The art, the story, or my weird narration. And yeah, subscribe to Unko Reality if you are into this mess. Bye.